When night begins its slow descent over the Sahara, it does not fall all at once. It drifts in with the softness of a veil, brushing lightly across the tallest dunes, cooling their sunburned ridges, quieting the restless wind that has wandered since morning. Here, in one of the most immense and ancient landscapes on Earth, darkness arrives gently, almost tenderly, bringing with it a calm that the daylight heat never allows. During the day, the Sahara is a place of motion. Wind carves great waves across endless gold. Heat dances in shimmering ribbons above the sand. Creatures hide deep underground. Plants tighten themselves against the burning air, and every living thing moves slowly, carefully, deliberately. But when night comes, something else emerges. Something quieter, something closer to a story. It begins with the cooling of the earth, the first breath the desert releases after holding itself taut for hours. A hush spreads across the dunes, stretching into valleys where sand softens into shadow. Stars rise early here, bright and unfiltered, illuminating the night with a pale silver glow. And in this stillness, the Sahara begins to speak, not in words, but in the slow music of its rhythms. You have arrived at exactly the right moment to hear it. Welcome to sleepy nature sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. This is your quiet space, a place where stories are not rushed, where landscapes move at the pace of your breath, and where every creature, seen or unseen, invites you to rest beside it. If these gentle journeys into nature help you drift into sleep, or if they bring a sense of peace to your evenings, you are always welcome to return. A like, a comment, or even sharing your favorite moment helps this sleepy corner of the wild reach others who may also need a soft place to end their day. And if you ever wish to support the channel, to help us explore more oceans, forests, deserts, and quiet animal worlds, you'll find a link in the description. There's no pressure, only gratitude. Tonight, we walk slowly into the Sahara's night, a world where foxes move like whispers, where beetles navigate by stars older than civilizations, and where sand, millions of years in the making, shimmers like an unbroken sea under the moon. So settle in. Let the cool air of evening wrap gently around your thoughts. The dunes are ready. The night is waiting, and the Sahara is prepared to tell you its softest story. Every landscape carries a question, quiet, patient, and older than any human story. In forests, the question might be hidden beneath the leaves. In oceans, it might drift with the tides. But in the Sahara, the question is woven into sand itself, carried across centuries by wind and time. Tonight, as you settle deeper into the softness of this desert night, the question rises like a faint mirage shimmering above the dunes. What does a desert remember? It seems like a simple wonder, something airy and poetic. But deserts are not empty places. They are archives carved in heat and silence, layer after layer, grain after grain. They hold traces of vanished lakes, ancient animals, forgotten trade routes, migrations that once crossed vast open plains. The Sahara is both a present world and a memory of worlds long gone. To ask what a desert remembers is to ask what the earth itself chooses to keep long after light, sound, and seasons have moved on. And so we return to the question again. What does a desert remember? Perhaps it remembers water, the way entire seas once lapped gently against what is now golden dryness. Perhaps it remembers footsteps, caravans stitched across the horizon like moving constellations. Perhaps it remembers wind, its oldest companion, sculpting dunes into shapes that rise and fall like breath. But maybe it also remembers something quieter, the rhythm of life that persists even when conditions seem impossible. Tiny tracks pressed into cool sand, roots searching for droplets deep underground, a beetle lifting its body to drink moisture from the morning air, a fox listening for the faintest rustle beneath the surface. These moments, too, are memories, small, fleeting, and deeply alive. As you listen to the desert tonight, you don't need to answer the question immediately. The Sahara is in no hurry. The dunes take centuries to shift. Your thoughts may move slowly too. Let the question open rather than close. Let it give you permission to soften, to settle, as though your mind were another dune among many, cool, quiet, and shaped gently by the winds of your evening breaths. Tonight, we will wander through the Sahara's living memory. You will meet creatures who carry ancient instincts, plants that hold intelligence in their roots, and landscapes that move as slowly as sleep itself. For now, just hold the question lightly, the way moonlight holds the desert, softly, without needing to explain anything. What does a desert remember? Before the night ends, the Sahara will show you its answer. Before we begin walking deeper into the Sahara's nocturnal world, let us take a moment simply to see it, not as a harsh expanse, but as a living tapestry of slow rhythms and soft resilience. Under daylight, the Sahara can feel overwhelming. The sun presses down with absolute intensity. Horizons blur in shimmering heat. Life hides, and the land seems almost empty, as if the wind has swept everything away. But at night, the desert reveals its true nature. Dunes glow with silver blue light, their curves shaped by centuries of wind. Long ridges form gentle waves that stretch into infinity, each one a moment frozen in geological time. The sand itself cools, releasing a faint earthy scent as though exhaling after holding its breath all day. Scattered across this landscape, small pockets of life come awake. Fennec foxes rising from burrows, geckos lifting delicate feet, grass tufts unfurling slightly as temperatures soften. Even the smallest creatures participate in the desert's night pulse, adding tiny movements to an otherwise still world. Above, the sky opens in a way few places on Earth can match. Stars appear sharp, bright, unfiltered, as though they have stepped closer for the sake of the animals who navigate by them. Constellations become maps. Planets shimmer like small lanterns guiding the night wanderers. This is the Sahara you will walk through tonight. Not the scorching desert of midday, but the quiet, breathing desert of moonrise. A world full of subtle movement and ancient knowledge. Our journey ahead will unfold slowly, the way dunes shift or foxes step or winds glide. We will explore underground burrows, watch night hunters move with soft precision, and listen to the invisible threads connecting species that rely on one another in ways rarely seen but always felt. This overview is not meant to explain everything. It is simply an orientation, a gentle way of saying, you are here now in a world that moves differently. Let it guide your pace. As you listen, allow yourself to drift at the speed of sand, to breathe in the cool air of evening, and to sink a little deeper into the calm spreading across the desert floor. Ahead of us lies a night full of quiet stories, and we begin with the first breath of nightfall. When the sun sinks below the Sahara's horizon, its final light doesn't disappear quickly. It lingers, soft, amber, diffused, stretching across the dunes like a warm hand, reluctant to let go. This moment between day and night holds a kind of magic, a suspended breath before the desert begins its transformation. The air shifts first. Heat, once fierce and unyielding, begins to lift away. Warm currents loosen, cool breezes slip in with patient confidence, and the ground beneath your feet exhales its stored warmth into the open sky. With this cooling comes possibility. Tiny cracks in the sand, unnoticed during daylight, become pathways of awakening. Small mammals stir in their burrows, their whiskers twitching as they test the changing temperature. A faint rustle here, a soft scrape there, the earliest hints that the desert is beginning to open its nocturnal eyes. Even the dunes seem to change personality. What looked rigid and imposing by day now softens into gentle silhouettes. Their edges blur into curves that roll quietly into the distance, like the calm surface of a sleeping ocean. This is when the first true breath of nightfall arrives, a breeze that travels low, slow, and cool across the sand. It gathers fragments of stories as it moves, the scent of acacia, bark warming from the day, the faint sweetness of desert grasses, and the delicate dust of a world that has waited all day for this moment. Nightfall in the Sahara is not a switch turning off. It is a deep relaxation of the land itself, a settling, a loosening, a soft release. As darkness gently thickens, the desert becomes a realm of subtler senses. Eyes adjust to gradients of blue and silver, ears tuned to the tiniest motions. Your own breathing begins to sync with the slow, expanding coolness, as if your body instinctively understands the desert's long exhale. In this moment, the Sahara welcomes you not as a visitor, but as a quiet participant in its nightly ritual. You may imagine yourself standing on a dune, feeling the last warmth seep through your shoes, watching shadows stretch and merge, hearing your breath carried lightly by the growing breeze. This is the threshold where the night animals prepare to rise, where hidden worlds begin to hum, where the story of the desert's gentle hours truly begins. The first breath of nightfall has opened the door. Now, life begins to step through. As the cool night takes hold, the first creature to leave its mark on the sand is often the fennec fox, the Sahara's small, delicate hunter with oversized ears that seem almost too large for its tiny frame. But those ears are not decoration. They are exquisite tools, designed by evolution to capture even the faintest vibrations shifting beneath the desert's surface. Some nights, the fox emerges cautiously, nose lifted to test the air. Other nights, it steps out with confidence, its paws barely pressing into the cooled sand, leaving behind a trail of neat, oval prints, soft punctuation on the desert's nightly page. The fennec moves with a rhythm that feels almost musical, Light step, pause, tilt of the head, a deeper listening. Then another step, almost floating across the dunes. Its fur, pale as moonlight, blends seamlessly with the sand, making it appear as if a small piece of the desert has come to life. These foxes thrive on subtlety. They survive not through speed or size, but through quiet mastery of their environment. They know where insects hide, where rodents burrow, where sparse vegetation shelters tiny life. Their ears can detect movements buried several inches beneath the sand. A rustle, a heartbeat, a hint of motion waiting in darkness. To watch a fennec navigate the Sahara is to witness a lesson in gentle precision. Occasionally, it will stop and sit, its fluffy tail curled around its body, as if taking a moment to appreciate the night. From this stillness, it springs into sudden, controlled action, a graceful pounce that barely disturbs the sand. Despite the challenges of desert life, the fennec carries an air of calm resilience. Its energy is soft, its presence light. It is a creature perfectly adapted to move quietly through a landscape shaped by extremes. As you imagine its small footprints trailing across the moonlit dunes, let yourself follow at the same pace. Slow, attentive, unhurried. Each step is a reminder that life in harsh places can still be gentle, delicate, and filled with quiet intelligence. Tonight, the footprints of the fennec guide us deeper into the Sahara's nocturnal world. Where it walks, the night begins to open. When the fennec fox fades into the distance, the smaller wanderers of the night begin their quiet work. They move almost unnoticed, tiny shapes that skim across the sand as if they are made of wind rather than flesh. These are the desert's silent navigators, beetles, scorpions, and insects whose worlds unfold mere centimeters above the surface. To walk at their scale is to perceive the Sahara differently. A single ridge of sand becomes a mountain. A faint breeze becomes a powerful current, shaping their entire route. Every grain, every shadow, every patch of coolness matters. Darkling beetles emerge first, lifting their bodies into the air like small black commas gliding across a pale page. They tilt themselves forward, allowing moisture from the night air to condense along their smooth backs before guiding it down toward their mouths. A quiet ritual that keeps them alive in a land without rain. Nearby, a sand scorpion pauses, its delicate legs adjusting with practiced precision. Contrary to their fearsome reputation, these creatures are shy and surprisingly gentle in their movements. They navigate by sensing the faintest tremors, the shift of an insect's foot, the whisper of a breeze bending a blade of dry grass. To them, the desert floor is a map written in vibrations. Some insects navigate by starlight itself. You might imagine a tiny beetle pausing, turning its round body upward and reading the sky with quiet certainty. The Milky Way stretches overhead, bright, bold, unmistakable, and in that glittering band of stars, the beetle finds its direction home. There is something humbling in their scale, something calming in the way they move without haste or fear. They do not rush. They do not worry about the vastness of the desert. They simply cross it one small, determined step at a time. If you listen closely, the soft taps of their legs against cooled sand become a kind of rhythm, a gentle desert heartbeat, steady and reassuring. In these tiny wanderers, the Sahara reveals a quieter truth. Life does not need to be loud or large to be meaningful. Even the smallest creatures hold knowledge written in instinct, adaptation, and grace. Tonight, they lead us onward, not with voices, but with footsteps so light they barely leave a trace. As night deepens, the dunes themselves seem to shift beneath the stars. Not visibly, not dramatically, but with the slow, ancient patience of a landscape that remembers more than it reveals. To the human eye, a dune looks still, its curved spine lit silver by moonlight. But look closely, and you will notice the faint ripples along its surface, patterns shaped by wind flowing like a quiet tide. These ripples are the desert's handwriting, rewritten each night as breezes carve new lines into the sand. The Sahara is sometimes compared to an ocean, and in moments like this, the comparison feels true. Its dunes are waves frozen in time, rolling across the desert floor in broad, sweeping movements that take months, years, even centuries. Wind is the sculptor. It gathers grains from the windward side, lifts them into gentle arcs, and delivers them to the opposite slope in a soft cascade known as sandfall. Each grain's journey is small, but together they create entire landscapes, valleys widening, ridges rising, shapes evolving with the rhythm of the air. To walk on a dune at night is to feel the softness of this motion beneath your feet. The sand shifts slightly, accepting your weight, then settling again, a reminder that even what seems solid is always flowing in its own way. The sound of a dune can surprise you. Sometimes, under perfect conditions, sand grains resonate as they move, creating a low, humming tone, a phenomenon known as the singing dune. It is deep, resonant, almost musical, as if the desert itself is humming a lullaby meant only for those wandering at night. Imagine that sound drifting across a valley, carried by the breeze. A single note, long and trembling, as old as the land itself. The dunes also hold the memories of passing animals, tracks from foxes, beetles, birds, all inscribed delicately before the wind erases them by morning. Every night brings a new set of stories, each written in footsteps, each temporary but no less meaningful. In the flowing dunes, the Sahara teaches a soft truth. Everything moves, everything reshapes, everything changes in time. And yet, there is peace in this constant motion, a reminder that transformation can be gentle, beautiful, and slow. Tonight, the dunes guide us forward, one quiet wave at a time. High above the silver dunes, a quiet presence drifts through the cool Sahara air. At first, you may sense it only as a shadow gliding across the sand's pale glow. Then the shape becomes clearer. Broad wings, steady flight, eyes attuned to every shift of the night. These are the desert's night birds, owls, kestrels, and other silent hunters who rise when the heat fades, taking to the sky with a calm confidence that belongs only to creatures who have mastered darkness. The pharaoh eagle owl, with its warm amber eyes and soft plumage, moves like a whisper stitched into the fabric of the sky. Its wings beat so gently that the air barely acknowledges their passing. This silence is not accidental. It is an evolutionary gift, allowing the owl to glide unseen until the right moment reveals itself. Its gaze is patient. It reads shadows the way others read books, noticing the subtlest shift in tone or shape. A flicker beneath a shrub, a rustle near the foot of a dune, a brief shimmer of movement in moonlight. Each is a clue that guides its soft, fluid flight. To see these birds is to witness precision without haste. Farther above, smaller raptors ride the desert's gentle updrafts. Even at night, warm pockets of air remain trapped between dunes, lifting birds higher with almost no effort. They circle slowly, their silhouettes framed against an unpolluted sky, where stars glitter like scattered crystals. The Sahara sky at night is deep and endless, a vast ocean of starlight. Birds glide through it as though suspended between worlds. The shifting desert below, the shining constellations above. Some migrants cross continents following this sky. They navigate by moon, by stars, by magnetic fields that hum quietly beneath the Earth's surface. To them, the desert is not an obstacle, but a familiar passage in a journey written into their bones. And as they drift through the night, their presence adds a soft, protective rhythm, as though the sky itself is watching over the desert. In their flight, you may feel an unexpected calm. Something in their steady glide mirrors the slowing of your own thoughts. They move without rush, without worry, carried by currents that always know where to lead. Tonight, the watchers of the sky guide us forward, their quiet wings tracing paths through the darkness and into the deepening stillness. Midnight settles across the Sahara like a soft blanket drawn gently over the land. The air cools to its lowest point of the night, and for a brief window of hours, the desert becomes a sanctuary, not harsh, not scorching, but surprisingly comfortable. This coolness is an invitation. Animals that remained hidden during dusk now emerge with greater confidence. Gerbils dart from their burrows, their movements quick and precise. Their tiny feet barely touch the ground as they hop from one shadow to the next, collecting seeds stored by the desert wind. Farther away, a small sand viper glides in gentle curves across the surface, its body forming delicate S-shapes that shimmer faintly in moonlight. The snake does not move fast. It has no reason to. In the cool silence, everything slows to match the desert's temperature. Even insects thrive in these hours. Crickets rasp softly from hidden corners, their songs rising and falling like distant waves. To some, it might seem like emptiness filled with faint noise. To others, it is the quiet soundtrack of life continuing despite the challenges of the day. The stars glow brightest at midnight, sharp and unfiltered. Their cool light spills across the land, draping every dune in bands of silver and shadow. If you look closely, you might see faint movements, a beetle adjusting its path, a fox pausing to listen to the night, a bird circling once before settling. Midnight is the Sahara's moment of balance. Heat has fully left. Morning has not yet stirred. And the creatures of the night move in harmony with this gentle cusp of time. To imagine yourself standing here is to feel a deep, grounding quiet. Your breath settles, your thoughts loosen. The cool air drifts softly across your skin, carrying away the last remnants of the day. In the deep cool of midnight, the desert offers something rare, a sense of pause, a moment where the world asks nothing of you except to be still. Tonight, that stillness guides us onward. When people imagine the Sahara, They often picture it as lifeless, a pure, rolling expanse of sand. But scattered across this vastness are plants that defy expectations, plants whose quiet intelligence has allowed them to survive in a world where water is almost mythical. At night, these plants seem to rest, not wilting, not struggling, but holding themselves with soft dignity. Their leaves, roots, and stems follow rhythms shaped by scarcity, adapting in ways that are both subtle and extraordinary. The acacia tree, for example, stands like a lone sentinel against the horizon. Its branches spread wide and low, creating a small oasis of shade that helps countless species survive. Its roots push deep, sometimes more than 30 meters, searching for hidden water far below the surface. Nearby, resilient shrubs hold moisture within their thickened leaves, protecting themselves from evaporation with waxy surfaces that reflect moonlight like tiny silver mirrors. Even the smallest grasses contribute. Dormant during most of the year, they awaken during rare rains, bursting into quick, vibrant life before returning to rest. Their seeds scatter across the dunes, waiting patiently, sometimes for years. For the moment conditions become kind again, there is a gentle wisdom in their patience. A plant in the Sahara does not rush. It does not compete loudly for resources. It survives by listening to the wind, to the soil, to the faint memory of water deep below. To imagine their existence is to understand slowness differently, not as stagnation, but as a deep, purposeful rhythm that honors limited energy. Tonight, under moonlight, these plants appear peaceful, almost meditative. Their shadows stretch long across the sand, and though they do not move, they hold stories older than the dunes themselves. In their stillness, the desert feels less empty, more connected, more alive, more quietly aware. These plants dream in dry soil, and through them, the Sahara whispers the wisdom of surviving gently in a world of extremes. In the quiet hours just before dawn, a familiar shape moves slowly across the dunes, unhurried, steady. A silhouette that seems carved from the desert itself. The camel, often called the ship of the desert, carries an ancient calm that perfectly mirrors the Sahara's own rhythm. Its footsteps press deep into the sand, yet the creature never appears strained. Each step is measured, placed with the kind of gentle certainty born from thousands of years of adaptation. A camel does not rush. It understands the land too well to waste energy. Camels carry more than people or goods. They carry memory, cultural, ecological, ancestral. For millennia, they have guided travelers through the Sahara's vastness, led caravans along shifting trade routes, and stood as living bridges between distant worlds. Their bodies are marvels of quiet resilience. Long eyelashes shield their eyes from blowing sand. Nostrils close tightly against storms. Padded feet spread wide, supporting them gently atop loose dunes, and their humps, misunderstood by many, store fat, not water, allowing them to endure long journeys without strain. But what is most remarkable is the camel's sense of calm. Its breath is slow and even. Its gaze is steady, thoughtful. Its movements seem to acknowledge the patience required to survive in a land where extremes rule every hour. Imagine walking beside one now. The night is cool. A soft wind brushes the sand. The camel's tall shape moves smoothly in and out of shadow. You may hear the soft shuffle of its feet, the faint jingle of a harness ring, the rhythmic exhale of a creature utterly at ease in this world. There is wisdom in its quiet endurance, a lesson whispered through centuries. That strength can be gentle, that persistence can be soft, that steady movement, even slow, can carry you farther than force. As the camel continues across the dunes, its silhouette becomes a reminder that not all journeys demand speed. Some journeys invite presence. Some ask simply for breath, for balance, for patience with the shifting sands beneath you. In the camel's slow wisdom, the Sahara reveals a gentle truth. Life thrives here, not by fighting the desert, but by moving in harmony with it. Beneath the surface of the Sahara, hidden worlds quietly unfold. Just a few inches below the sand's cool nighttime crust, entire ecosystems hum softly, unseen, unnoticed, and perfectly adapted to the desert's shifting moods. Jerboas sleep curled in tiny burrows, their long hind legs folded beneath them, like springs ready for the cool night's activities. Reptiles lie still in narrow tunnels, their bodies absorbing the gentle chill of midnight after the long heat of day. These underground homes are refuge, sanctuary, and ingenious solutions to one of Earth's harshest climates. Burrows hold cool air long after sunrise. They shield delicate bodies from predators. They muffle the vibrations of shifting dunes. And they allow even the smallest creatures to exist in a world that, above ground, would quickly overwhelm them. If you were to press your ear gently to the sand, quietly, reverently, you might hear faint movements below, a shuffle, a soft rustle, the tiny heartbeat of a creature waking to the night. Kangaroo rats emerge cautiously, blink toward the brilliant stars, then hop into the open with quick, graceful leaps. Their tails balance them, their whiskers guide them across the uneven ground. Every movement is a negotiation with the night, a delicate balance between seeking food and avoiding being found. Lizards also take advantage of this time. The desert monitor, sleek and alert, slips from its shallow burrow, its tongue tasting the air for scents carried on the cooling breeze. It moves with purpose, yet never loses the composed calm that makes the Sahara's nocturnal creatures so mesmerizing to watch. Even insects live underground. Antlion larvae dig tiny funnel traps, waiting for unsuspecting prey to slip inside. These small architects shape the sand one grain at a time, their lives woven intricately into the dunes themselves. Underground worlds follow rhythms we rarely see, yet these rhythms support the entire desert. They are the foundation upon which predators hunt, plants survive, and life continues in ways more subtle than any grand landscape view can reveal. Tonight, as we listen to these whispers beneath the sand, you may feel your own breath slowing, your thoughts settling as though the calm of these hidden chambers is gently extending into your own quiet spaces. In the burrows below, the Sahara dreams softly, and for a moment, you are dreaming with it. Under the glow of moonlight, a small shape appears at the base of a dune, delicate, almost translucent, like a sliver of moving starlight. A gecko emerges, lifting one tiny foot after another with astonishing gentleness, its steps so light they leave barely a trace on the sand. Its pale skin reflects the desert's cool radiance, shimmering faintly as it moves. Large eyes, designed to gather even the faintest light, allow it to see clearly in darkness where humans would see only blur and shadow. Each step is deliberate, each movement an elegant compromise between curiosity and caution. The gecko's body is a marvel of adaptation. Its toes are lined with microscopic hairs, setae that allow it to cling to rocks, cliffs, and even vertical surfaces, as though gravity itself loosens its grip just for this small, determined creature. It hunts quietly, pausing often to tilt its head as if listening to something too faint for human ears. A beetle scuttles nearby. The gecko waits. One breath, two. Then it moves, swift but never frantic, a brief dart of motion ending with a soft, satisfying success. Despite its size, the gecko plays a vital role in this ecosystem. It keeps insect populations balanced, providing sustenance for larger hunters, and weaving its own subtle thread into the fabric of the Sahara's night. Watch closely as it moves across a dune slope. Its tail curves gracefully behind it, helping it balance as the sand shifts. Its feet make small, silver patterns on the surface, temporary signatures that the wind will erase by dawn. There is something soothing in the gecko's pace, unhurried, instinctive, almost meditative. As it crosses a narrow ridge, its silhouette glows softly against the sky, blurring into the gentle outline of starlit sand. For a moment, it seems less like an animal and more like a small guardian of the night, tending to the desert with quiet dedication. If you listen, you might sense the calm it embodies, a tranquility born from moving lightly in a world that requires resilience. Tonight, the gecko's silver steps guide us deeper into the Sahara's living tapestry, where even the smallest creature carries a universe of grace within its gentle motion. Look upward now. The desert sky stretches endlessly above you, untouched by city lights, clear as a polished mirror. Stars scatter across the blackness with an intensity that feels almost otherworldly. In the Sahara, the sky is not merely a backdrop. It is a guide, a companion, and a memory written in light. For countless species, navigation begins with looking up. Tiny beetles, barely the size of your fingernail, align themselves with the Milky Way, their entire survival dependent on recognizing its shimmering band as a consistent compass. Birds crossing continents follow constellations passed down through generations of instinct. They read the night sky as a moving map, one that leads them across oceans, mountains, and finally, the golden dunes below. Even ancient humans trusted the stars to guide them here. Caravans moved from oasis to oasis, not by roads, but by memory stored in stories, in constellations, in sky paths woven into the fabric of culture. Tonight, the stars serve a gentler purpose. They guide your thoughts away from the edges of the day and into a calmer, wider space. Each constellation carries a quiet meaning. Orion rises like a sentinel. Scorpius curves gracefully, reflecting the desert's own serpentine inhabitants. The Pleiades shimmer softly, a cluster of tiny lights that have comforted travelers for thousands of years. As you breathe, imagine those lights spreading through you. Tiny points of calm expanding across the inner horizon of your mind. In this sky, time feels different, slower, older, as though the night itself remembers every creature that has crossed this desert, every footstep, every breath drawn under its infinite canopy. Here, stars are not just stars. They are memory, direction, and a gentle reminder that even in vastness, there is guidance. Tonight, we follow their quiet light deeper into the Sahara story. Though the Sahara is known for its endless dunes, there are places where life gathers more densely, small grasslands tucked between valleys, nourished by seasonal rains and by the faint traces of moisture that drift through the desert air at dawn. These patches of green seem modest compared to the vastness around them, yet they breathe life into the ecosystem with surprising abundance. Tufts of desert grasses sway gently in the cool night breeze. Their roots reach deep into the soil, anchoring them against shifting sands and drawing nutrients from layers that remain damp even when the surface is bone dry. For insects, these grasses are sanctuaries. Beetles forage among their stems. Crickets hide within their shade. Delicate moths rest on their blades, their wings patterned like grains of sand to avoid detection. Small herbivores venture here, their movements cautious and deliberate. Jerboas hop lightly between clumps of vegetation, pausing to nibble seeds carried by wind from distant places. Even predators are drawn to these grasslands. A fox may sit quietly at the edge, ears perked, listening for the faint rustle that signals an opportunity. But nothing here feels frantic. The desert's cool quiet wraps every creature in a layer of calm. The grasses themselves hold stories. Many species can lie dormant for months, waiting for the rare rainfall that brings sudden bursts of color to the desert floor. When water finally arrives, the transformation is astonishing. Fields bloom almost overnight, painting the Sahara with soft greens and delicate whites. These ephemeral moments, when the desert breathes deeply, when life rushes upward in a celebration of existence, are reminders of nature's patience. Nothing is wasted, nothing is rushed. Everything arrives when the land is ready. As you imagine walking through these grasslands, the sound is soft, the whisper of blades brushing against one another, the faint scurry of nighttime wanderers, the subtle sigh of the wind moving through living things. In the breath of these desert grasses, the Sahara shows you that even in places defined by scarcity, life finds ways to flourish, quietly, beautifully, and in perfect rhythm with the earth. As the night deepens and the stars settle into their highest arc, a faint, serpentine motion begins to etch itself across a dune's surface. It appears almost as a ripple, soft, delicate, easily overlooked, until you notice the subtle, S-shaped tracks unfurling behind it. This is the Sidewinder, one of the desert's most graceful dancers. Unlike most snakes that glide forward in smooth waves, the Sidewinder moves sideways, lifting parts of its body off the hot sand while placing others down in a rhythmic, almost choreographed sequence. This unique form of locomotion helps it avoid the heat, maintain balance on shifting slopes, and conserve precious energy. Watch it closely. Its movement is not frantic or aggressive. It is precise, efficient, and strangely beautiful. Each step, if it can be called a step, touches the ground lightly, barely imprinting the sand before lifting gracefully into the next curve. To the Sidewinder, the Sahara is not an obstacle. It is a dance floor. The snake pauses now and then, lifting its head slightly, tongue flickering to read the air, collecting stories carried by the wind, the faint scent of a rodent, the trace of an insect, the coolness drifting down from star-filled skies. Despite its reputation, the Sidewinder is not a threat to the desert's quiet harmony. It hunts efficiently but sparingly, taking only what it needs to survive. Its presence keeps populations balanced and contributes to the unseen equilibrium that holds the desert together. Under moonlight, its pale body takes on a silvery glow, as if the night itself has wrapped it in soft illumination. Its scales catch the faintest light, reflecting a shimmer with every sideways glide. There is calm in its deliberate pace, nothing wasted, nothing rushed. It teaches an unspoken lesson shared by many desert creatures. Survival is not always about strength. Sometimes it is about grace, adaptation, and knowing exactly when to move and when to be still. As the Sidewinder disappears over the crest of a dune, its tracks remain for a moment, a delicate pattern painted across the sand. Soon, the wind will brush them away, smoothing the desert back into its quiet rhythm. But for now, its dance has told a story, one written not in words, but in motion soft enough to lull even the night into deeper calm. High above the cool desert air, far beyond the reach of dunes and burrows, the night sky becomes a highway, a vast, shimmering corridor for birds undertaking one of nature's greatest journeys. Migratory birds cross the Sahara not once, but twice each year. Some weigh barely more than a handful of sand. Others glide with long, effortless wings that catch invisible currents rising from the cooling earth. Tonight, the sky is full of them, though you might never hear a sound. A small warbler flutters overhead, its flight determined, its tiny body carrying a tireless instinct that stretches across continents. By day, it rests in pockets of shade, tucked safely beneath sparse shrubs. But at night, the desert becomes its open passageway. Farther above, larger birds ride the wind with a confidence born from generations of travel. They do not rush. They do not question. They simply follow the pathways written in their bones, routes guided by stars, by the moon's gentle pull, by magnetic fields humming quietly below. If you could look up and see them all at once, their patterns would resemble constellations in motion, glimmering, shifting, moving in elegant arcs across the sky. These migrants depend on the desert for more than crossing. They seek oases tucked between dunes, stopping just long enough to drink, to rest, to gather strength before resuming their long flight. The desert offers them both challenge and refuge. Imagine standing on a dune, feeling the cool wind brush your face as faint, dark shapes pass overhead, silent pilgrims carried by currents of ancient purpose. Their persistence is calming, their endurance quiet. There is a softness in their determination, a steady reminder that great distances can be crossed breath by breath, wingbeat by wingbeat, night after night. These birds, though they may never land near you, leave an invisible thread woven through the desert story. Tonight, that thread leads us onward, gently, gracefully, guided by wings that trust the open sky. After hours of traveling through cool darkness, the desert opens into a miracle, a grove of palms rising like a dream from the sand. An oasis is more than water. It is a pulse, a soft heartbeat in a landscape that survives on silence. By moonlight, the palm fronds shimmer softly, casting long shadows over still pools. Water reflects the sky with perfect clarity, as though the stars have come down to rest in a liquid mirror. Here, life gathers quietly. A small fox drinks cautiously, its reflection trembling with each ripple. Insects skim along the water surface, their delicate bodies tracing fleeting paths of silver. Frogs call softly from shaded corners, gentle, rhythmic notes barely rising into the night air. Birds descend silently, touching the edges of the pool before continuing their migration. The oasis is a resting place for travelers of all kinds, beings of sand, soil, and sky. Tall date palms sway slightly, their roots anchored deep into the hidden water below. Everything here thrives because of what lies unseen, aquifers winding through ancient stone, feeding life one drop at a time. The oasis is patience made visible. Its presence encourages rest. Not the hurried rest of exhaustion, but the soft, nourishing rest that comes from being held by something steady and alive. Imagine sitting beneath a palm, your back against its warm, textured bark. The air carries a faint sweetness, a soft blend of water, earth, and night-blooming flowers. Your breath naturally slows, matching the measured rhythm of this unexpected sanctuary. In the vastness of the Sahara, where so much seems harsh and unyielding, an oasis is proof that gentleness persists, that life finds a way, quietly, beautifully, even in places that seem inhospitable. Tonight, under starlight, the oasis glows softly, a reminder that every desert, literal or metaphorical, holds hidden places of renewal. And so we linger here, letting the desert's soft heartbeat carry us gently into deeper calm. If sand is the Sahara's canvas, then wind is its painter. Long after midnight, a gentle breeze begins to stir, moving across dunes with deliberate care. It carries no rush, only the slow, steady intention of shaping the landscape grain by grain. Wind is the desert's oldest storyteller. It sculpts ridges, carves valleys, smooths sharp edges into elegant curves that echo the rhythm of ocean waves. Listen closely. You may hear a faint whisper, not a harsh gust, but a soft brushing sound as particles shift and slide into new formations. This quiet movement holds power. A single gust can lift a handful of sand. A night's worth of breezes can reshape an entire dune, and centuries of wind can move mountains of earth across the desert floor. Yet despite its strength, the wind's artistry is gentle. It erases tracks from the day, footprints of foxes, trails of beetles, the delicate marks left by geckos, not as an act of destruction, but as part of the desert's rhythm, a nightly reset, a return to stillness. The wind also carries stories from places far beyond the dunes, seeds swept in from distant plains, scents of flowers blooming after rare rains, cool breezes drifting down from mountains hundreds of miles away. Everything the wind touches becomes part of the desert's memory. Imagine standing on a high ridge, feeling the breeze wrap softly around you. It lifts a few strands of sand, twirls them lightly, then lets them fall in a shimmer of quiet gold. There is peace in this steady motion, a reminder that change does not need to be sudden or loud. Sometimes, transformation arrives grain by grain, moment by moment, barely noticeable, until one day you realize an entire landscape has shifted. Tonight, the winds guide us onward, not with force, but with gentle invitations to soften, to release, to move with the desert instead of against it. As the moon climbs higher and shadows deepen into velvety pools, the Sahara's night hunters begin their delicate work. Contrary to dramatic tales, these hunters do not move with ferocity, but with care, precision, and a deep awareness of the land's fragile balance. A caracal emerges first, tall ears crowned with elegant black tufts. It moves like a whisper given form. Every muscle flows with quiet grace, its paws placing themselves so softly that the sand barely stirs. It listens more than it moves. The faint rustle of a rodent, the swift patter of a lizard seeking shelter beneath a rock, the flutter of a bird disturbed from sleep. Even in the stillness, the caracal remains patient. Its power lies not in violence, but in timing, in knowing exactly when to release the stored tension that ripples beneath its calm exterior. Nearby, a barn owl drifts across the dunes, its wings slicing the air without a single sound. Its hearing is so acute that it can detect movement hidden beneath layers of sand. Its flight, however, is pure softness, an effortless glide carried on the cool night breeze. Insects, too, play their role. Praying mantises sway in rhythm with the grasses, their motions slow and hypnotic. Their hunting is as quiet as the turning of a page. None of these creatures hunt excessively. In the desert, nothing is wasted. Every movement, every decision is shaped by restraint. This is not a place of chaos. It is a place of balance. As you watch these hunters navigate the night, you may feel your own breath aligning with their gentle intent. Soft inhalation, slow exhalation, a quiet matching the rhythm of predators who move without disturbing the stillness. Tonight, the Sahara shows us another truth. Strength does not always roar. Sometimes it moves silently, soft-footed, patient, woven gently into the dark. Just when the night seems endless, a faint silver glow begins to gather along the horizon. Soft at first, like a quiet thought forming at the edge of the desert's awareness. Dawn in the Sahara does not rush. It stretches slowly across the dunes, lifting the darkness one breath at a time. The stars dim gently, not extinguished, but tucked away behind the widening veil of morning light. Animals sense the change long before the sun appears. Gerbils retreat into their cool burrows, their small tracks weaving delicate paths across the sand. Tiny stories soon to be brushed away by wind. Owls return to hollowed cliffs and abandoned nests, their wings folding into the soft shadows of protective stone. Even the fennec fox, whose night has been full of listening and wandering, lingers for a moment before slipping underground. It turns once toward the pale sky as though acknowledging the desert's quiet shift before disappearing into the shelter of its den. Above, the air brightens, not with heat yet, but with expectancy, a gentle anticipation that something warm is approaching. The dunes respond to the coming light with subtle transformations. Their curves sharpen into clear silhouettes. Their ridges glow faintly, as though illuminated from within. The desert seems to hold its breath, waiting for the sun's first touch. In these moments, the Sahara feels like a world suspended. Not night, not day, but something in between, where everything is softened by possibility. Dawn is a promise here that darkness is temporary, that warmth will return, that the cycles of the desert continue even when nothing seems to move. As you imagine standing on a dune, the breeze carries a coolness that will vanish within the hour. But for now, the air is gentle, the land is still quiet, and the horizon grows brighter with each passing breath. In the first hints of dawn, the Sahara invites you to slow your thoughts, to settle into the calm that lingers just before the day's awakening. This is the final chapter of the night, a soft closing of the desert's nocturnal story, before sunlight writes a new one. As the sun finally crests the horizon, its first rays touch the sand like fingertips, testing the warmth of a sleeping world. At this early hour, the light is still soft, a pale gold shimmering across the dunes with gentleness rather than force. But the Sahara knows what comes next. The desert begins to warm almost immediately. Shadows shorten, colors brighten from silver blue to warm amber and deep gold. The sand, cool from the night's long exhale, absorbs the rising heat grain by grain. Animals that remain above ground move with urgency now. A gecko darts into the safety of a shaded crack. The caracal finds a sheltered hollow beneath a rocky outcrop, curling its elegant body into the last sliver of morning coolness. Birds lift into the air, some seeking higher, cooler currents, others departing for distant oases where shade lingers longer. The transformation is swift, yet never abrupt. It feels natural, rhythmic, a slow tightening of the desert's energy as night softly folds into day. The dunes brighten into sharp definition. What was muted under moonlight now shines with vivid clarity. Every ridge, every ripple, every gentle arc sculpted overnight by the wind's quiet hand. For travelers, this is the moment to appreciate the desert's shifting identity, from a cool sanctuary of night to an immense tapestry of sunlit gold. The Sahara reveals new facets of itself with each rising degree. Heat is not the desert's enemy. It is its sculptor, its pulse, its ever-present companion. It shapes how plants survive, how animals adapt, how life moves in waves between shadow and light. Even the air changes texture as the morning progresses, from soft and dewy to thin, bright and dry. You may imagine feeling it on your skin, a quiet reminder of the Sahara's dual nature, gentle at night, formidable by day. As heat returns to the earth, the nocturnal story we have followed begins to tuck itself away, leaving behind faint marks in the sand, scents on the wind, and the lingering impression that the desert's softness is never far beneath its sunlit surface. This is the turning point, the final breath before daylight claims the land, calling us onward to deeper reflections on what the desert remembers. Morning in the Sahara is brief, a delicate window between the gentleness of dawn and the fierce brilliance of midday. During this short span, the desert becomes a place of elongated shadows that stretch across the sand like painted brushstrokes. The dunes grow tall again, their curves emphasized by the low angle of the sun. Every ridge casts a long, dramatic shape that reveals textures unseen at night, small pockets of pebbles, patterns carved by wind, the subtle trails of creatures who moved through darkness. This is a moment of clarity. Details sharpen, colors shift. The world feels newly drawn. Even the animals sense this fleeting stillness. A lizard warms its body on a sunlit stone, absorbing the gentle heat before retreating to avoid the harsh afternoon. A kestrel perches atop a dry acacia branch, eyes scanning the sand for one final chance to hunt before thermals rise and the day becomes too demanding. Here, the desert feels contemplative, as though pausing to acknowledge the transition between two realms. The long shadows mirror the memories the Sahara carries, traces of ancient lakes, echoes of vanished species, the silent persistence of life in a place shaped by extremes. As you watch those shadows stretch and fade, you may feel your own thoughts lengthen, softening into reflection. There is something soothing in witnessing a landscape that transforms so subtly, so gracefully. Nothing here resists the coming heat. Nothing clings to the coolness of dawn. The desert accepts its cycles, its minutes of gentleness, its hours of intensity with remarkable equanimity. In the long shadows of morning, the Sahara teaches us to honor transitions, to embrace the brief moments that exist between one state and the next. Soon the sun will rise higher. The shadows will shorten, then disappear. The desert's nocturnal story will close. But for now, we stand in this soft threshold, watching the last traces of night stretch across the sand before they vanish into light. As the sun begins its steady climb, the Sahara's deeper story emerges, not in the animals that roam its surface, but in the sand itself. Sand is more than grains. It is fossilized memory. Each grain once belonged to mountains that stood tall millions of years ago. Wind and time wore those mountains down until only fine particles remained, scattered across what was once ocean floor, forest, or grassland. Yes, long ago, the Sahara was not a desert at all. It was a tapestry of lakes and savannas, alive with elephants, giraffes, hippos wading through shallow waters, birds nesting in lush wetlands. The sand remembers. It holds tiny remnants of ancient shells, traces of pollen from vanished forests, minerals carried by long-dried rivers. To walk across a dune is to walk across history, to feel beneath your feet a record of worlds transformed by climate, movement, and time. But sand remembers smaller stories too. Footprints from the night, foxes, geckos, beetles, fleeting imprints that remain only until the wind lifts them away. This erasure is not loss, it is renewal, making room for new stories each day. There is a calming wisdom in how the desert holds memory. It keeps the essential and releases the temporary. It allows change without fear of forgetting. It transforms without clinging to what was. Imagine lifting a handful of sand. The grains slip through your fingers, soft, warm, moving with a patience that mirrors the desert's long life. Each grain has traveled farther than many creatures will in a lifetime, carried by storms, dropped by winds, shaped by the world in constant motion. In this drifting memory, the Sahara teaches a gentle truth, that identity is not fixed. Landscapes change, lives shift, stories evolve. And still, the essence remains. The desert remembers, but it also lets go. Tonight, as we journey deeper into these reflections, the sand's ancient memory becomes a quiet guide, a reminder that change can be both profound and beautifully peaceful. Amid all the movement of wind, the wandering of animals, the shifting of shadows in sand, there lies a paradox at the heart of the Sahara. Stillness is not emptiness. Stillness is knowledge. A dune may appear motionless, yet it contains the memory of countless storms. A solitary acacia tree may stand alone for decades, yet it anchors entire webs of life through roots that reach unseen into the earth. Even the silence here is layered, not hollow, but rich with the quiet operations of life. Plants photosynthesize slowly, saving energy for the hottest hours. Insects pause beneath stones, waiting for the perfect moment to emerge. Birds balance on warm branches, their breaths shallow, their bodies perfectly calibrated to the desert's stillness. Stillness is not the absence of motion. It is motion refined. It is doing only what is necessary, nothing more. There's a deep, grounding peace in watching a landscape that knows how to rest without resisting. Imagine sitting atop a dune during the late morning lull. The world around you feels suspended, no rush of wind, no hurried footsteps, only the slow, expanding warmth and your own breath rising and falling. The Sahara, in its vast quiet, mirrors back your inner landscape. It teaches that rest is not a weakness, but a strategy, a way to preserve strength, to listen to the subtler rhythms that guide all living things. Animals embody this wisdom too. A fox curled in its burrow is not hiding in fear, it is conserving energy. A snake basking on a shaded rock is not idle, it is regulating its temperature with precise understanding. A camel standing motionless beneath a sparse tree is not bored, it is honoring the desert's pace. Stillness here is purposeful, intentional, a language spoken in the spaces between movement. And as you absorb this lesson, you may feel a softness settle into your own thoughts, a loosening of whatever tension you carried into this desert journey. The Sahara's wisdom of stillness reminds us that life expands not only through action, but through rest, through the quiet moments when we allow ourselves to simply be. Adaptation in the Sahara is not loud. It does not roar or bloom suddenly or declare itself boldly. Instead, it unfolds in subtle lines, etched into pause, woven through roots, carved into instincts passed quietly from one generation to the next. Every creature in this desert, from the smallest beetle to the tallest camel, carries within its body a poem written by time. Consider the fennec fox again, its oversized ears sculpted perfectly to release heat and capture sound, or the jerboa, whose delicate hind legs stretch like tiny springs so it can leap high above the scorching sand. Even the humble desert grass tucks its seeds deep within the soil, waiting patiently for a single drop of rain to open the door to life. Nothing here is accidental. Adaptation is a kind of artistry, a refined balance between effort and ease, energy and conservation, movement and stillness. In the Sahara, every adjustment serves a purpose: to preserve water, to avoid heat, to blend into the golden landscape, to listen for changes in the wind. Imagine a gecko resting on a warm stone. Its translucent skin glows faintly in the cooling light. It is not merely surviving, it is thriving in a place where many would struggle. Its toes, its eyes, its nocturnal rhythms have been shaped into a gentle perfection that fits this environment like poetry fits a page. Plants echo this same elegance: the acacia's deep roots, the succulent leaves of desert shrubs, the seeds that sleep for years until the precise moment conditions turn kind. Each is a verse in the desert's long poem of resilience. And adaptation extends beyond physical traits. It lives in behavior, in timing, in the instinctive wisdom of knowing when to wait and when to act. A hawk soaring overhead uses thermals rising from sunlit dunes to lift itself higher without effort. A beetle seeking water tilts its body toward fog-laden breezes, letting droplets gather on its back. These are small gestures, yet together they form the quiet poetry of life, adjusting, aligning, finding harmony with a landscape that demands respect. As you move deeper into the Sahara's story, you may begin to feel your own breath synchronizing with this poetry, slow, aware, and open to the beauty of gentle adaptation. At first glance, it may seem as though the Sahara is silent, a place where wind hums faintly and sand shifts quietly beneath the moon. But listen closely. The desert holds a symphony, one performed not with instruments or voices, but with rhythms so subtle they often slip beneath the thresholds of hearing. A beetle's tiny legs tapping lightly across a dune, grass blades brushing against each other as a breeze drifts through an oasis, the soft fall of sand as a gecko lands from a hop, even the faint whisper of shifting dunes as grains tumble down their slopes creates a gentle, resonant murmur. This is not silence. It is music written in understatement. Consider the singing dunes, a natural phenomenon where sand, when cascading in large quantities, produces a low, vibrating hum. Some say it sounds like an organ. Others describe it as a distant chant, but whatever the comparison, the sound holds the same quality. It is profound, mysterious, and deeply soothing. The symphony unfolds everywhere. When a fox walks, its paws create barely perceptible impressions, soft percussion. When the wind weaves between dried acacia branches, it produces a quiet sigh. When insects take flight, their wings add shimmering threads to the desert's woven soundscape. This symphony is not meant to overwhelm. It is meant to soothe, a gentle reminder that stillness and sound can exist together without tension. Imagine sitting atop a dune as dawn approaches. The wind calms, the desert holds its breath. Then, little by little, the soft sounds emerge. A rustle here, a drift there, each one settling into place like notes placed thoughtfully on a page. In these subtle compositions, the Sahara whispers that not all music needs to be loud to be beautiful. Some melodies exist precisely because they respect silence. They occupy the space between breaths, between grains of sand, between one moment and the next. As you listen, you may find your own inner rhythms aligning with the desert's score, your thoughts quieting, your body softening, your breath becoming the steady percussion beneath the symphony of night. Much of desert life does not reveal itself immediately. It hides beneath rocks, beneath sand, beneath the calm facade of a landscape that appears empty at first glance. But the Sahara is full of life, life that waits, life that rests, life that emerges only when the conditions are just right. Consider the seeds that lie dormant for years, sometimes decades, buried in deep sand. They sleep through windstorms, through blistering seasons, through long stretches where rain is nothing more than a distant rumor. And then one day, water arrives. It might be a rare rainfall, a sudden downpour, a brief moment of moisture carried by an unexpected cloud. But when it comes, the desert awakens. Flowers burst from the ground, painting the dunes with splashes of purple, white, and yellow. Grasses rise quickly, eager to capture the fleeting moment of abundance. Insects swarm joyfully, birds gather from miles away, and the entire ecosystem vibrates with renewed energy. All of this from seeds that remained unseen for years. Life hides in other places too. A lizard pressed flat against a rock takes on the same color and texture. A spider buried beneath sand emerges only at night to hunt. A desert snail, its shell sealed tightly with a protective layer, waits patiently for humidity before crawling back into the world. To notice these small lives is to understand the Sahara's quiet generosity. It does not proclaim its richness. It reveals it only to those who watch slowly, gently, without expectation. Imagine yourself sitting in the warm morning light, eyes soft, breath steady. At first, the landscape appears still. Then, a faint movement, a flicker, a small creature emerging from its hidden refuge. Life in the desert is a practice of timing, a practice of patience, a practice of trusting that what is unseen is still profoundly alive. And perhaps, as you listen to this quiet truth, you may feel something within you soften as well, a recognition that your own hidden places carry life and possibility, waiting patiently for the right moment to bloom. Though the Sahara may seem solitary, its life is built upon quiet collaborations. Species here rely on one another in intricate, delicate ways, a network of support woven silently into the desert's golden fabric. Consider the acacia tree, whose branches cast shade that shelters insects, birds, and small mammals from the midday heat. In return, many of these animals help disperse the acacia's seeds, ensuring the next generation of trees can grow. The cooperation continues underground. Burrows created by one species are often used by another. A jerboa's abandoned tunnel becomes a refuge for insects. A fox's old den offers shelter for desert reptiles seeking safety from predators or storms. Even predators and prey share a subtle understanding. The balance between them keeps populations steady and prevents any one species from overwhelming the fragile ecosystem. Birds and insects also participate in this dance. Migratory birds bring nutrients from distant lands. Beetles break down organic material, returning essential elements to the soil. Ants clean, aerate, and move the earth in patterns that benefit plants rooted far above. Each action is small when viewed alone, but together they create a living tapestry, a testament to the quiet ways in which cooperation sustains life. Imagine watching a fox pause beneath the shade of a thorn bush, its breath steady, its ears alert. Nearby, a small flock of sparrows rustles gently through the branches, unbothered by the predator's presence. In the coolness of morning, both species use the same patch of shade, a temporary truce that helps them survive the desert's coming heat. Even plants participate in cooperation. Their roots spread wide, intertwining beneath the surface. They share moisture, preserve nutrients, and protect one another from erosion and wind. In this interconnected web, no creature is truly alone. The desert thrives not through isolation, but through relationships, through soft, steady partnerships that unfold without announcement. As you reflect on these subtle bonds, you may feel a gentle understanding settle into your thoughts, that every life, including your own, exists within a network of quiet support. In the soft cooperation of species, the Sahara reveals a tender truth about survival, one rooted in connection, respect, and the beauty of shared existence. Though the Sahara may appear unchanging, its seasons move with a rhythm as natural and steady as the rise and fall of a quiet breath. The shifts are subtle, nothing like the dramatic snowfalls or blooming springs of other climates. Here the changes unfold gradually, in textures, in temperatures, in the timing of wind. In winter, the desert cools. Nights grow long and gentle. Days are warm but bearable. Animals move more freely. Plants hold moisture a little longer, and the dunes glow with a softer palette. Spring comes quietly. Winds pick up, shaping new ridges and carrying seeds from one valley to another. Occasional rains nurture brief bursts of color, tiny flowers opening for just a few days before returning to rest. Summer burns brightly. Heat intensifies. Shadows shorten. Life retreats underground or beneath sparse shade. The desert becomes a place of stillness and waiting, its rhythm slowed to preserve energy. Autumn brings relief. Winds cool. Birds return along their migration routes. The desert breathes in, gathering strength for the cycle to begin again. These changes may seem small, but to those who live here, they are everything. A lizard knows when spring winds will open new hunting grounds. A plant senses when rare rains might nourish its seeds. A fox instinctively understands how each season shifts the behavior of its prey. Imagine standing on a dune as the seasons turn, the wind brushing past you with a new intention, the light falling differently across the sand. There's comfort in the desert's quiet consistency. Its cycles repeat with steady assurance, offering a gentle reminder that change does not need to be sudden to be profound. Just as your breath moves in and out, just as day turns to night, so too do the Sahara's seasons flow effortlessly from one to the next. In these subtle transitions, the desert teaches a soft truth, that life evolves through small adjustments, tiny shifts, and peaceful acceptance of what comes. As the sun crosses higher into the sky, the Sahara begins to shift into its daytime character, bright, vast, steeped in heat. But within this blazing world lies a quieter center, a heart that beats beneath the shimmering gold. Returning to this center is not a journey of distance, but of perception. Throughout the night, you have walked among creatures that thrive in silence. You have listened to dunes shift, felt the breath of winds, watched life unfold in small, patient gestures. And now, as the day expands, those lessons follow you back into the brightness. In the heart of the desert, everything is stripped down to its most essential qualities: light, shadow, heat, silence, motion, stillness. There is nothing extra here, nothing unnecessary, only what survives, what endures, what belongs. A lone acacia tree stands in the distance, its branches spreading like open hands. Near it, the faint traces of last night's footprints lead toward burrows where creatures now rest. The dunes rise and fall around you with the calm of an ancient sea. This is the desert's truth, that beneath its extremes lies a profound simplicity. Life is not absent, it is selective. It appears only where the land makes room for it and grows only as wide as the world allows. Humans often look at the Sahara and see emptiness, but the desert sees clarity. Here, the unnecessary falls away. What remains is what matters. Imagine standing in the center now, the heart of the desert gathering around you like a quiet embrace. Your own thoughts begin to mirror the land's simplicity. What was crowded spreads out. What was loud softens. What was tangled loosens gently in the warm morning wind. In returning to the heart of the desert, you return to a place within yourself, a place shaped by calm, shaped by quiet, shaped by the uncomplicated truth that rest is its own form of wisdom. The Sahara offers no explanations, no demands, only presence. And in that presence, you find space to breathe. As the day settles into its steady rise, the journey naturally curves backward, not retracing steps, but gently returning to the quiet wonder that opened this entire night. What does a desert remember? You first heard this question when the dunes were wrapped in darkness and the world felt softer, as if holding its breath. Now, under the growing light, the question arrives again, not demanding an answer, but expanding gently within you. The desert remembers in ways that are both vast and intimate. It remembers ancient oceans through the shells hidden in its sand. It remembers migrating birds through paths traced across the sky season after season. It remembers the footsteps of nomads, caravans, animals, winds, all of them shaping the land with each passing century. But it also remembers the smallest things, the tracks left by a beetle before they were lifted by wind, the cooling imprint of a fox's paw pressed into damp morning sand, the shadow of a palm tree stretching briefly at dawn before shrinking back into the trunk that cast it. These memories do not remain forever. They shift, dissolve, transform, just as dunes change shape, just as seasons drift quietly into one another. In this, the desert reflects a gentle, universal truth, that memory is not fixed. It is a flowing landscape, reshaped by time, softened by perspective, held not to imprison the past, but to honor its presence before allowing it to drift on. As you return to this question, you might notice your own inner landscape shifting too. Thoughts that felt sharp now feel rounded. Feelings that once clung tightly begin to loosen. You breathe more slowly, more deeply, as though your body, like the desert, has begun to release what no longer needs to stay. What does a desert remember? Perhaps everything. Perhaps only what the wind allows. Or perhaps it remembers just enough to guide those who walk through it toward a softer understanding of themselves. As we ease into the descent phase, the question remains with you, not as a riddle, but as a quiet companion leading you toward rest. The desert teaches without speaking. Its lessons rise naturally from the way it exists, from the rhythm of temperature, from the patience of plants, from the stillness of its long horizons. These truths are simple, but they ripple with depth. The first truth: life can thrive even in harshness. The beetles gathering moisture from fog, the foxes listening beneath the sand, the lizards absorbing the faint morning warmth, each serves as a reminder that resilience need not be fierce. It can be quiet, delicate, and deeply intelligent. The second truth: change is constant. Dunes shift, winds sculpt, tracks vanish. What seems permanent softens with time, making room for new forms, new stories, new beginnings. The third truth: stillness holds power. In the desert, movement is purposeful, rest is strategic, and silence is a space where life recalibrates itself. These truths glow gently beneath the heat of the sun, but they shine brightest in the cool hours of memory, when you recall how night wrapped around the dunes, how stars mapped themselves onto the quiet earth, how creatures moved with intention and rested with trust. Imagine yourself now sitting at the base of a dune, a light breeze brushing your skin. The world around you is open and wide, yet the simplicity of the landscape gathers your thoughts inward, inviting them to settle. Nothing rushes, nothing demands. The desert holds space for everything to soften, even the parts of you that felt heavy or tangled before this journey began. As you absorb these simple truths, you may notice a deepening ease in your chest, your shoulders, your breath. The desert's wisdom is not meant to be analyzed. It is meant to be felt, a soft knowing that gently guides you toward rest. As afternoon approaches and the desert heat rises in waves, the wind begins its quiet transformation. No longer shaping dunes with force, it softens, spreading thin currents of air that drift gently across the sand. This wind is not here to sculpt, it is here to soothe. Listen closely. The breeze brushes across acacia leaves with a sound like distant rain, soft and steady. It weaves through dry grasses, creating a faint rustle that rises and falls with the ease of a sigh. Even the sand responds, its surface shifting in the smallest, most delicate motions. Together, these sounds blend into something almost musical, a natural lullaby carried across the warm expanse. If you have ever let yourself fall asleep near the ocean, you may notice a similarity. Just as waves create a rhythm that calms the body, the desert wind holds a cadence deeply attuned to rest. Imagine closing your eyes now. The breeze touches your face, cool despite the growing heat around you. It lifts a few grains of sand, letting them drift in lazy arcs before settling again. The wind does not ask you to think or to act. It simply invites you to feel. Feel the shift of air. Feel the soft hush. Feel the gentle continuity of a landscape that never stops moving, yet never hurries. As the lullaby deepens, your breath naturally aligns with it. Longer exhalations, slower inhalations, each one loosening tension from within. In the desert, wind is more than weather. It is a companion, one that wraps itself around you with quiet intention, offering comfort in a place defined by openness. Here, in this moment, the wind becomes a guide, leading you gently toward rest. As the sun dips low again, the Sahara begins to release the heat it held all day. The air cools, shadows lengthen, and the desert prepares for another cycle of softness. Night returns slowly, as though retracing its steps from the previous evening, a familiar visitor arriving with warm reassurance. The dunes shift in color, transitioning from gold to deep amber, then to soft blue, and finally to the velvety violet of dusk. The transformation is gentle, almost meditative, a visual exhale spreading across the land. Animals sense this return. A fox stirs in its burrow. A beetle pushes upward through cooling sand. birds settle deeper into their shaded roosts as the world grows darker and the first stars begin to appear. The sky, now a deepening canvas of twilight, reveals the earliest constellations. The same guides that led nocturnal wanderers throughout the previous night. There is comfort in repetition, in the familiar pattern of light fading and darkness rising, in knowing that the desert, despite its extremes, moves with a steady, reassuring rhythm. Night settles once more, and with it, your breath begins to slow again. Your thoughts drift. Your body softens. This is the moment when the world feels hushed, when everything leans towards stillness, when the desert opens its arms to those ready to rest. As darkness deepens, the stars brighten, spilling cool light across the sand, a final invitation to step quietly into the calm of evening. Night has returned, and with it, the path toward gentle sleep. As twilight deepens, the Sahara exhales a long, cooling breath. Light that once shimmered fiercely across the dunes now softens into a gentle blur, as though the desert itself is surrendering its sharp edges to the night. The horizon melts slowly, gold dissolving into blue, blue dissolving into violet, until the final traces of daylight fade like a whisper. The sand, still warm beneath the surface, begins to release its heat upward in delicate waves. If you imagine standing barefoot on a dune, you might feel that warmth rising around your ankles, a final embrace before the desert cools completely. Shadows lengthen, then merge, smoothing the land into flowing shapes that no longer seem like individual dunes, but like a single quiet body at rest. The details of the day, footprints, ripples, tiny disturbances, begin to disappear, not as erasure, but as the desert's nightly ritual of renewal. Night does not fall onto the Sahara. It settles into it, gently, patiently, as though laying down a soft blanket across the endless gold. With each passing minute, the world grows quieter. The wind hushes. Creatures retreat deeper into their shelters. Even the sky seems to dim its presence, letting darkness rise from the earth instead of descending from above. In this quiet transformation, you may feel your own thoughts soften, edges rounding, tension loosening, awareness sinking gently inward. This is the hour when the desert invites you to stop observing and begin dissolving, to let the day fall away, to let the night hold you, to let the soft darkness gather around you like a cradle. The sands fade into darkness, and with them, the mind slips easily into the tender quiet of rest. As the desert cools, its inhabitants retreat into the small sanctuaries that keep them safe through the night. The fennec fox returns to its burrow, curling its bushy tail around its body like a soft blanket. Its ears, which spent the night listening to the faintest movements, now fold gently back, relaxing into stillness. A gecko finds a smooth hollow in the sand, its belly pressed against cool earth. Its breathing slows, its translucent eyelids drifting halfway closed, as though the desert's rhythm is lulling it into a dream. Jerboas nestle into tunnels lined with fine grains of sand, their hearts calming after their energetic nighttime leaps. In the dark safety of their burrows, they settle into a comfortable quiet that mirrors the stillness above. Even insects pause. Beetles tuck themselves beneath stones. Crickets fall silent. Wings fold. mandibles still. Their small bodies become part of the desert's hush. Farther underground, larger animals sleep deeply, snakes coiled in cool pockets, lizards pressed against shaded soil, tortoises tucked within shallow scrapes that keep them hidden from both heat and predators. The desert plants rest too. Leaves draw inward. Roots relax into the earth's cooling layers. Each living thing seems to release the last remnants of the day, surrendering to the slow drift of night. As these creatures curl into quiet, their peace begins to echo in your own body. Your breath lengthens, your muscles loosen, your mind grows softer, more open to sleep. It is comforting to imagine a world where everything, even the restless, even the alert, even the creatures built for survival, knows how to settle into stillness. Tonight, the Sahara teaches you that rest is not a luxury. It is a rhythm, a natural closing of the day, a gentle settling into safety and warmth. As you listen to this quieting, you join the desert's inhabitants in the soft return to calm. Now the desert has entered its deepest quiet. Heat has fully seeped into the sky. Darkness has spread evenly across the land. The dunes no longer shimmer or glow. They breathe, slow, steady, like a creature resting after long hours of wandering. In this vast stillness, the Sahara reveals a pulse, not a sound, not a movement, but a feeling, a low thrum of life held in balance, a subtle awareness flowing beneath the surface, a quiet constancy that reassures every creature cradled within its wide embrace. It is the pulse of roots drawing faint moisture from hidden aquifers, the pulse of burrowed animals breathing softly in sleep, the pulse of sand shifting in slow, imperceptible streams carried by the gentlest winds. Everything moves here, but nothing rushes. Even the stars seem to drift slowly overhead, mirroring the desert's unhurried rhythm. You may picture yourself lying atop a cool dune now, your back cushioned by smooth sand, your gaze lifting toward a sky woven with millions of quiet lights. With each breath you take, you feel the land's calm pulse echo faintly in your chest. Your inhales deepen, your exhales slow. Your entire body begins to move in harmony with the desert's ancient rhythm. Thoughts that once felt heavy become lighter. Thoughts that once felt sharp soften into rounded shapes that drift effortlessly away. This slow pulse is the Sahara's offering, a reminder that rest is not the absence of life, but life moving gently, peacefully, without urgency. As you sink deeper into the shared breath, you may notice that the boundary between your body and the desert begins to blur. Here, in the quiet midst of night, you are no longer separate from the vast stillness around you. You are simply part of the slow, steady, comforting pulse of the Sahara. The desert's slow pulse continues, carrying you into an even deeper quiet. Above, the stars shine without flicker or strain, 1,000 tiny lanterns suspended in calm. Below, the dunes hold their shape with soft humility, curving into one another like waves frozen in moonlight. This moment is the threshold between waking and sleep, a place where the mind loosens its hold on the day and drifts towards softness. The wild around you is not harsh or intimidating. It is gentle, a world that whispers rather than commands, a landscape that supports your slow descent into rest. Imagine lying comfortably within this vast quiet, The sand beneath you is cool. The breeze is steady, moving across your skin like a calm hand reassuring you that there is nothing left to do tonight. No animal moves now, no beetle scurries, no bird calls. The desert has settled into its deepest stillness and invites you to do the same. Your breath becomes quieter, your eyelids heavier. Thoughts drift like sand carried by lazy wind, not disappearing, just floating aimlessly until they dissolve into the night. The gentle wild around you holds space for this release. It does not judge the weight you carried today. It does not hurry your transition into sleep. It simply surrounds you with its steady quiet, letting you fall at your own soft pace. Here, at the edge of consciousness, the desert's calm becomes your calm. Its stillness becomes your stillness. Its wild beauty becomes the landscape of your dreams. Sleep comes naturally when the world around you whispers instead of speaks. Tonight, in the gentle wild of the Sahara, rest settles over you like a warm, protective blanket. Now, as night deepens into its quietest hour, the desert gathers all its softness, its cool air, its starlit dunes, its slow pulse, its ancient breath, and lays them gently around you. The journey has come full circle. You have walked with foxes and geckos, stood beneath migrating birds, listened to dunes that move like oceans, felt the rhythm of wind turn into a lullaby. You have witnessed how life adapts, how stillness teaches, how memory settles softly into sand that never stops shifting. And now, you arrive at the final quiet, a place where nothing remains but peace. Your body grows heavier, resting deeper into the supportive earth beneath you. Your breath slips into the slow, even cadence of a creature already dreaming. The desert, too, seems to sleep now, its winds calm, its edges blur, its vastness folds inward into a single, comforting presence. In this moment, there is no separation between you and the land. No thought sharp enough to disturb the quiet, no task waiting, no sound calling you back. There is only this, a gentle truth carried by the Sahara through countless lifetimes. That rest is part of the wild, just as wind and sand and stars are. You are not stepping away from life as you fall asleep. You are flowing with it, joining the soft rhythm that guides every creature into dream. And so, as your mind drifts and your body loosens, the final words of this journey whisper themselves into the night. Everything flows through the wild. Sleep in that motion. The dunes hold you. The stars watch over you. The desert hums gently around you. And sleep, deep, nourishing, unbroken, comes easily.